Okay, so.
Wait, let me sit down first.
Just a heads up, I think Professor mentioned that I'll be recording my presentation, so don't worry. If the gimbal turns towards you, don't worry. We can cut that off when editing. So my focus is on my presentation. Last semester we had presentation, so I regretted not recording. So this time I will record my presentation, but don't worry.
And I can see right now it's just you in the frame. So
Yeah.
that's what we were talking about before. Yeah. Nobody is in the frame, only Jonathan is in the frame.
Yeah, so. Yeah. All right, so I'll be presenting my lessons that I have gotten from the psychology of human relations. First of all, you are what you eat.
Yes.
When you study nutrition and food science, you are trained to believe in this statement that you are what you eat. Some students become even naive that when you are having a conversation with them, they tell you that, don't tell me anything about you, just tell me what you eat and I will know everything that I need to know about yourself. But lately I've been thinking about this statement. Suppose you receive a call on a new number and your conversation goes like this. Who are you? Or who is this? And then the other person answers, I'm what I eat. I believe for most of us that would be the end of our conversation because we would think that this person is trying to prank us. Because when we ask somebody, who are you? We're not trying to understand what's in the stomach. We are trying to learn their name, their character, personality, background, of which none of those things have something to do with the stomach. We want to understand what's in the mind. So when I read the question about this presentation, what came to my mind was, how has human relations turned me into a better man? But afterwards, I also learned that even that statement is also fuzzy because we don't relate to people like a man or a woman. Nobody knows me as a man. But we relate to people as a teacher, a leader, a manager, a husband, a wife, a friend. So the question here is, how has this course turned you into a better friend, a better husband, a better teacher? So I'm going to answer that question by presenting 5 areas of growth, 3 goals, and 1 takeaway. To begin with, self-concept. To me, self-concept is like the answer to the question, who are you, internally. I was interested in this concept because this is how I learned where my low self-esteem came from. Because if I say I have low self-esteem, maybe you will not understand. So let me try this one. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Okay, I was waiting for that part. So, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks. How are you? You understand how that doesn't make sense? That's how low my self-esteem was. Imagine somebody growing up not knowing how to greet people in the community. So my self-esteem became so low that I pulled back. I didn't know how to have conversations with people. So through this concept, I understood how to develop a better identity and not to stumble in conversations. Secondly, self-awareness. I understood this as the degree to which I understand myself or I know myself and how others know me. This was very important to me because it explained why people make misjudgments about me and why people end up assuming things about me. I think that mostly happens because we build walls around ourselves, so people don't know most things about us, so they just end up assuming. So it is good that we share with people who we really are, but first of all, we have to understand who we really are. This is very important. Thirdly, anger. I have anger issues. But then the problem is not to understand what makes you angry. So by learning what anger is, I understood that anger is triggered by 2 thoughts. Either you think the other person acted against rules of normal behavior around you, or the other person intentionally wanted to cause harm on you. But if you look at these two thoughts, you see that you judge people based on your perspective. What about their perspective? So maybe in our conversations, we should try to look at things from other people's perspectives so that we should avoid strong emotions. That way we have healthier conversations. And then creativity. This is how you explain who Jonathan is. Because creativity is like you have ideas, but then you use those ideas to create new knowledge or new ways of doing things. But then what's interesting is what are characteristics of creative people? Creative people are childish. Creative people are mostly absent-minded, and that's how I am. I spend more time in the bathroom than my wife. But then that's more embarrassing when you see your wife, when your wife comes by and looks at you talking to yourself in the mirror for 30 minutes. And then she comes, what are you doing? Are you okay? Yes, I am okay, but I was just incubating an idea here and you ruined the moment. But then at the end, you develop low self-esteem because you think something is wrong with you, when in fact, you're just creative and it's okay to be creative. And number 5 is conflict analysis. This is how I understood that conflict analysis is about understanding more about conflict deeper so that you can construct long-lasting resolutions. You see, there is a script that I grew up with that in a conflict there is somebody who offends the other person. So at the end, you have to decide how to punish the other person. It's a win-lose situation. But through this, I understood that in a conflict, when you want to resolve a conflict, it's about looking at the needs of these two people who are in conflict. If you address those needs, you build a long-lasting resolution. Having these 5 lessons, I built 3 goals for myself. For the next 6 months, what am I going to do? I will become a leader. This is how I tell everyone that I think in this life it is more important to pay attention to empathy. Because sometimes we don't understand that people are very good, but sometimes they just don't understand how good they are. So having learned what we are made of, who we are really internally, it's good to start showing people how to have better conversations, how to understand people. One most important thing about leadership is to train teachers. I thought that I would be a good teacher, but this time I think I should be a trainer of teachers because I think teachers mostly don't understand how to determine intelligence in children. Imagine how children are labeled not intelligent just because they were paying more attention to creativity. They were paying more attention to music when the teacher is trying to test them in physics. Children tend to be labeled unintelligent just because the teacher doesn't understand how to assess intelligence. And then self-awareness. This is how I want to treat myself, that I am not broken. I'm just different from others. So I shouldn't believe in the judgments that are in our society. Sometimes people just don't understand who I am. Thirdly, communication. I want to use conversations not as a battlefield. Your argument shouldn't target somebody's identity. Do not use negative words when addressing people. Do not fight with each other. Just share ideas, because that's all about communication, sharing ideas. And the takeaway concept is the self-concept. According to me, self-concept is the most important thing, because if your self-concept is poor, then everything else follows. It will be poor. You have to have a healthier self-concept. How do you do that? Whatever you pay attention to grows. And sometimes it grows bigger than you, and it becomes what you are identified as. Where is your attention? Are you paying attention to your fear? Are you paying attention to your failure? Or are you paying attention to your strength? Or maybe you're paying attention to what you eat. I hope you will not pay attention to what's in your stomach, because you are not what you eat, actually. You are who you say you are in your mind. Thank you.
Very nicely done, Jonathan.
Thank you.
What blow-ups do we we have for Jonathan? What did we hear? That we were like, oh, yes, that spoke to me too. Go ahead, Alexi.
I like that you said I'm not broken, I'm just different.
Yes.
That was very touching.
I wrote that down too.
Oh,
I wrote down quotes. You got gems that you dropped. And then could you?
Okay.
okay.
I love the part, I forgot exactly what you said, but you were like, when I get judged or something, you were like, they just don't understand me. Like,
Yeah.
I love when you said that, like very touching as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, I also like the fact where, like the fact, the point where you mentioned about self-concept.
Yes.
Yes. And what was the other slide again? If we go down.
Like about self-concept?
Yes, about self-concept and even about the conflict analysis. Oh yeah, especially about the leadership, self-awareness, and communication facts. Yes, the fact that you also talked about those things, they're really inspiring, and I really like it, by the way.
No.
I really like the fact you talked about the leadership and the self-awareness and the communication part. Yes, yes.
Thank
And
you.
especially the self-awareness, where you say, I'm not broken, I'm just different, that makes a lot of sense.
Uh-huh.
For this kind of society we're living in today.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
And Genesis will be the last comment so we can move
Yeah,
on to
yeah.
our next person.
I love the fact that you had spoke about how teachers misunderstand
Children.
your growth.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And they don't see the full potential of you because they have, so like their assignment could be like, you don't, if you don't know music, like how I know music, but like,
Yeah.
you know how like they know music, right? So
Mhm.
you're in music class and like the other child may not really be in tune to the music,
Yes.
but he's smarter in a different area.
Mhm.
But the teacher is like, well, I'm gonna give him a bad grade because he doesn't understand the concept of the music.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I kind of like, that was deep,
Yes.
that's really deep.
Yes, and that's what, as we move back, have a seat. Wonderful round
Thank
of
you.
applause for
Good job, Jonathan.